Today I'm going to make an easy walnut cake. First, I assemble the ingredients. The fruit, today I'm using glacé cherries and sultanas. You lightly dust them with flour for two reasons. One, it stops the fruit sticking together, and the other, it stops the fruit from sinking to the bottom of the cake. Then the ingredients for this walnut cake: 100 grams of pitted dates or cherries, 100 grams of unsalted butter, 100 grams of soft brown sugar. I use granulated unrefined brown sugar, 2 eggs lightly beaten, and remember that these days they're not battery hens that laying the eggs, they're free range and therefore might not be quite as fresh as you want. So lightly beat the eggs in a separate container. Next, 2 teaspoonfuls of honey or golden syrup or treacle, 100 grams of plain flour. I'm afraid I only have self-raising, but it doesn't seem to hurt. 1 teaspoonful of baking powder, a good pinch of cinnamon, 100 grams of chopped walnuts. Now, whenever you're using nuts in cooking, it is advisable to toast them first because this brings the flavour out. But you then have to let them cool before you chop them, otherwise they're very oily and you get into a gooey mess. And you also have 100 grams of sultanas or raisins. Really, I think you can vary this recipe according to what you have in the larder. It's advisable at this point to get your container ready. I use this silicone, which is very flexible and it's so easy to get the cake out when it's cooked. I've also used the silicone for making chocolates because it's quite hard to get a solid chocolate out of a rigid mould. Now cream the butter and the sugar together. When the butter and the sugar are creamed together, it's time to add slowly the lightly beaten egg. At this point I bring in my little electric hand mixer. Oh. With the egg, you add 2 teaspoonfuls of syrup or honey, whichever you're using. If the mixture curdles, don't worry, just add a little of the flour to it. Sift the dry ingredients together. That's the cinnamon and baking powder and the flour. You don't want any lumps in the mixture. That goes into the batter, and if I had a better sieve, it wouldn't keep falling off. See the little lumps left in the bottom? Wow. Let me mix that into the batter. Whoa. Now we can fold the fruit and the walnuts into the batter. And finally we can dollop the mixture into our cake tin. Spread it around so that it fills the whole tin. Oh, I can see the cherries. I like to reserve some whole walnuts so that I can just dot them along the top. Don't press them in, it's tempting to, because they'll just sink into the mixture. Oh, that is going to be really lovely. And I've still got 2 walnuts left over. Cook's nips, I think. Now, we put it in a preheated oven to 180 degrees. After about, we cook it in an oven at preheated to 180 degrees C, that's 350 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 50 minutes until the skewer comes out clean. I like to turn the oven down to about 160 degrees C after 15 minutes. And of course, if the cake has gone rather dark on top, I put a light covering of greaseproof paper. We'll have a look at it when it's finished. And here is the finished cake. Just to test it's cooked, you put a skewer in, and if it comes out clean, then the cake is cooked. It's usually better eaten the day after, if you can keep it that long. But yeah, I think it's worked.